No, it is not. In case of weak acids, it's not true.
So let us see. We asked the same question in one of the science conclave for 500 teachers. They said like whenever you dilute, it will decrease. We have tried out this experiment with students. Students tell that answer only. Who are in class 9 and 12, 10th or 11 and 12th, if you try out this experiment and ask the same question, we have tried more than 2000 children till now. All the children say that it decrease. Why decrease? When why decrease, they will say that it is diluted, it decreases. So then we take an experiment of now let's take chicken soup. So let us try finding the pH value. It is 5.8. When now I'm going to dilate. So what should happen as per the student statement? It should decrease. So when I do it, what is happening? It is increasing. This point student will get confused. Usually they are not having the knowledge like all of you because you have studied beyond that, you know. But when students come here, they ask a question here, why sometime it is decreasing, one side, why? This is the first part of the curiosity creation to explain what you were explaining as science. Right? There is some hydrogen atoms in this. When water molecule interacts with this, something you will explain beyond that. Whatever you want to explain, there is a curiosity which you wanted to create. So when you wanted to record a video in the studio, you decide to use this simulation, the way I asked question and the way you saw that and I wanted to record this as a video. After which I will present. So assume that is a scenario. How will you record this in your video? That is where you will record the complete video of the screen. Usually we record the person's video, but here I will record the video of the screen. I am casting the screen. So that is what is called as a screencast video. Okay? Is this clear? Anything else which is not clear still? Can we move ahead? So this is what we discussed in the initial purpose depending on my content. I need to decide which particular type of content I have to choose. Even if I have decided the type, which type of, which format of that content, this is only for video. For every digital resource, we have a format like this. We have to be aware of those formats to decide the appropriate format. And also we need to decide on which tool I can use. I'm not using PowerPoint, I'm using Prezi. Why? Is there a difference between using a PowerPoint and Prezi? Yes. What difference you could see?
More animated.
Way is being accessed, okay?
It's more interactive.
I can zoom in and zoom out, okay?
Many things on one place.
Many things on one place, but I can click. Can that be done in PowerPoint also?
That can be done.
Can I put image, I click, then I just get a zooming picture of it? We have to manually make all that doing like hyperlink it and say when I click this you go and open that. But still can this be done?
No, it cannot be done.
I'm having one canvas. Wherever I want. Earlier I zoomed in and zoom out. When I want to summarize, I'm just moving the canvas, which is not feasible in PowerPoint. So why I have chose this particular software to use for presentation is my content is like that where I have so much of content to tell. But if I put so many slides, first time anyone uses PowerPoint, when the person opens, everyone's eye is psychologically checks how many slides are there. Now you know how many slides do I have?
No, we don't.
So I am keeping you clueless.
Yeah. There is a clue. The blue line is running. We just see whether you are.
Blue line is running, but do you know how much slides are there?
No, but I can guess how much you will deliver later.
No, I am spending on one slide so much. I may quickly move a slide also.
But I
Okay.
can get that you are not at the end.
You are so intelligent, so
No,
we
no.
cannot escape from everyone, right? No, you are getting, but the kind of exact information which we give in PowerPoint is not available. Okay. Many times when the presentation starts, we get tired of seeing the number of slides itself. Our mind automatically stops listening. Automatically keep checking when the last slide will come. So I need to think that because you are all already NCRT faculty. Training people, if they come from newly, it is easy to hold them. It is very difficult to hold your own colleagues, making them to listen. It's not easy. So something I have to do something so that you see, okay, this lady is doing something different. At least some element I have to add because my participants are like that. And my content is also having more images which I wanted to show little clear. Want to zoom in and show. And that is another reason because my content demands it, I am using it. Right? So depending on your content and context, we can choose whatever the tool can be used. Always need not use thing. One like 5 years back, one Australian team came here to India to NCRT to tell how to create online course. Before that, in NCRT, nobody used Prezi. None of the faculty used this software for presentation. During that first time when Australian team came, they used Prezi for telling how to develop online course. All our faculty in the team IRD arranged for that session, all senior most person. From the starting till we were all sitting like this, not moving our eyes. And at the end, we all appreciated. Great people, they have done this and that. After presentation, the team asked us, as any, the facial reaction of the person was such that, have any time NCRT know anything? Did you do anything like that? Then we said, yeah, we have done. Then he said, can you explain? So our team went there. We didn't have a fancy presentation, but we just opened the Moodle platform and said, we have implemented in Karnataka for this many number of teachers. Australian team went back. So it's not always the content alone. Sometimes we also need to use presentation tools which can suit the environment, suit your context. Okay, so since all of you already know PowerPoint, most of you may know Prezi, but there may be some people who are not having. And the one more thing psychologically is the moment I keep zooming in, zoom out, there is an immediate reflex from your eye that you blink. Last 1 hour, 1.5, 1 hour, you are looking at a screen. And we will talk about screen time. NCRT will tell that more than 15 minutes screen time is not supposed to do. But we will take 1.5 hour session without giving a blinking possibility. So in our presentations or using tools, we need to have the scope of that as well. Okay. So can we all take our mobiles now? Take a mobile. You install it. The other one you need to install is Google Art and Culture. Skyview Lite and Google Art and Culture. दोनों इन मोबाइल में इंस्टॉल करना Skyview Lite and Google Art and Culture. Google Art and Culture. This is the way it will appear. Skyview Lite with this symbol. So Google Art and Culture will appear with this symbol.
ICT Lab 2. Art and culture type करें या style
Can I request everyone to Get up from your places. You can leave all your notebooks with only your mobile phone. You have to just walk around this whole room with your Skyview Light app and just observe what all you can see inside this room. Turn around, up, down. You can walk around.
डाउनलोड हो रहा है
Okay. Download नहीं हुआ. Once you download, you can try with your mobile networks also. If one person has installed, two, three people can combine and watch as well. To make use of the time, if one person has installed, you can join with them and see through it. Actually, network is not working properly. थोड़ा इंटरनेट का चेक करो. ज़्यादा slow है.
सही चल रही है सही आ रही है इस पे
You should move around and check what all you are able to see inside the room. And take two screenshots in your mobile. Take two screenshots of what you are seeing in the mobile. No assignment for today.
Okay.
We'll take 2 minutes to explore. You can join with somebody. Whoever has installed, no, join with the team. Just look 360 degrees up, down, everywhere.
मैडम ये जो है ना ये सर्कल आ रहा है आपकी लोकेशन
बाहर निकल
बाहर में है
देखो
Not supposed to go outside, sir. Don't come inside.
ये रियल है क्या
इतना बढ़िया. Can we all come back to our places?
ये वाला देखिए स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो अपना ये ये वाला देखिए ये स्क्रीनशॉट कहाँ ले रहे हैं हाँ सारी देखो देखो बेटा है
आपका वो कहाँ है बताओ एक ही जगह
स्क्रीनशॉट लेना है
Yeah, now let's all come back to the
आप कैसे
place.
देख रहे हैं हमारे को देखा रहे हैं पूरा घुमाने के दिखा
देखो अब ये बोल रहा है
आप ये बैकग्राउंड आपको ये ब्लैक नहीं आ रहा है बैकग्राउंड
गया ना ये
फोटो जब होता है वो ग्लो कर रहा है
आपने
मेरे में ऐसे नहीं बाकी में है स्क्रीनशॉट अलग आ रहा है
Can we all come back to our place?
आपका ये कैमरा नहीं आएगा मेरा ये कैमरा बताओ 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 आप फिर
There are many people whose screen was black in color, right?
right
Those who did black in color didn't do correctly.
very nice we can sit down
Yeah, please come to your place. The right way to use this app is you should use a AR camera. Many of us would have not set in our mobile. Can we please be seated? We have to finish in time also. Actually, yesterday you were listening to a. Can I request all of you to put your mobile down? Then your time of 2:30 will extend, sir. It has to be said like they need to build up. So please listen. Let's keep the phone down for some time. So when you have opened this, you would have seen now, some of you got a black screen. Some of you would see the same classroom. Actually, we should use, this is the AR app. So this you can just enable the camera to show AR when people can see the planets inside this room. So you will see this classroom, you will look like as if Venus is here, Mars is there, you are standing near to that. Yesterday ma'am was showing an image, right? In the classroom, child is seeing the same experience children will get. So that is where whenever you are using an any AR app, you should use the AR camera. Just a minute. Final presentation. Okay. So So you should use the app like this in the classroom and children can get the interest of using this particular tools. So I was just telling the Google Art and Culture. So I'm just going to show something which you can, once you install, you can explore. Okay. Can we please observe on the screen? This Google Art and Culture is free for you to use. All that are some constellations and all that. You click on that, you will get all the explanation why it is coming.
AR camera is nothing but when we place the camera or AR on an object, it will show us in a some 3D model. We didn't place any bull here and
it's not only always 3D models, sir.
Okay, we are not able to, and especially I am not able to understand. The AR and VR different.
Okay.
And,
so simple thing is, in AR what we do is we take a platform, okay, like maybe it is simple image or anything. It can be a paper, it can be any base. On that we keep attaching to certain things so that you argument that particular base. So now what we have done is, this is a classroom. So they have attached the complete solar system called complete environment into this classroom. Though I am in my classroom is argumented to see the real position of the planets right now. This is a dynamic, not image. All the planets you are seeing, because initially I had this doubt whether they have added picture. So 31 days, I every day in the same position I kept and just took picture. So I could see the movement of complete planet for 31 days at the end of taking all the 31 days picture. So the planets are dynamically is coming from another software. It's integrated. But they also want to show constellation. Constellations we can't see in the sky like this. But we have some visualization for constellations which they have added as images and they have put on layer. That is why when you see, you are able to see multiple layers together. This is AR is something which you only give that experience. If you go to the VR solar one, that has to have a goggle. In when you are in goggle, it will look like you are walking on the sky. You are in that place. So things are, your place is not argumented. It will take virtually to that particular place. That's a VR. Okay, so that's a kind of major difference that will happen. Okay, so
नीचे करेंगे ना तो आपको नॉर्थ साउथ डायरेक्शन का वो भी दिखेगा। हाँ, कैमरा को नीचे करेंगे ना तो डायरेक्शन भी देखिए नॉर्थ साउथ दिखेगा।
उसमें नसीरपुर कैंपस भी दिख जाएगा।
so this is not the only app. We have n number of apps we can use for various subjects to create interest among the students to just understand about what we are talking. So this is a curiosity corner kind of activity also we can conduct in our classroom, but we need to know these apps. So we have also done in webinar all this kind of apps we have introduced for you to go through, and it is also, some things are also listed in the Nishta modules which can be taken up for us. So this is Google. I'm just introducing some of the platforms which we can use so that we can integrate in the classroom. This, if you see, this is a free one, not a open source. The one which I showed, FET, is a open source. It is developed by Colorado University, but it is given complete as an open source. So today, if you want to add your voiceover in that, you can download the simulation and add your voiceover in whichever language and republish as your resource with the Creative Commons license which they have given. That's possible if you have that technical skill to do it. But this is not an open source, this belongs to Google, but this has a very rich resource not explored by many teachers. It is useful for all the subjects according to how you pull out the content from here. You can use it in the classroom, but this is not allowed to be not a Creative Commons license, so you cannot reuse it in your video or repurpose it. You can't do it. We may not have opportunity to take our students to all the museums in the country, not to the place. For me, like any metal, I have not seen because I come from Tamil Nadu, Madurai, where we don't have any exposure to metals. We are not having any metal field also. But when I went to Bhubaneswar, in their state museum, one complete session is completely there on metals, metallurgy completely. If you go and see there, first time I saw every metal in its core there only. I got an opportunity to go there, so I could see. But today, many students or many of us don't get an opportunity to visit everything. So we need a virtual tour to be possible. Virtual tour or virtual reality content. Where do we get that content? Today, there is no need for all the time to buy a headset. Even during Diwali in Amazon, 199 rupees, you will get a headset. Many of us can buy that as a toy for our kids also. So there are apps and portals which have VR content, which we can open in our mobile, put it inside that VR kit and see and have the feel of VR. So it's very simple, and even Google has a cardboard kind of kit. I have one kit like that. I'll show in the afternoon. We have kit, and nowadays science teachers are making this as a practical activity for students in the classroom to create their VR goggle. There is a way they can create there. It's all basics. They use cardboard lens and everything. They create the goggle and then use the mobile. You must have seen 7D, 3D movies. When we go to theaters, it is not that they give only goggle to use and we see that experience and we feel that experience. Same way teachers are able to create. So let's just see one example. This has a rich resource. This is completely an authentic resources in this portal and has a high quality specifications also. So for example, if I search Ajanta, so here you can see when you scroll museum views. So in everything, somewhere it will be museum views. Many foreign museums are completely as a virtual tour. You can directly go and have the experience of the things. So for example, here I am going to one of the cave. So you can see that I can just scroll it like this and see with my desktop version. Okay. But in your mobile, you don't need to do with mouse. You just open same thing the way I did. You turn left, you will see the left side wall of the cave. You turn to your right, you will see the right side wall of the cave. That's a kind of experience you can bring in with this kind of tools. So it is very important. When we design in the second stage, we need to think about what resource I'm going to use. Fancy speakers. If I'm taking what type of resource, which format will be useful, which tools will be useful. Accordingly, we need to select our content. And when we also when we wanted to develop the resource, few things which we need to keep in mind is we need to integrate our technology, pedagogy and content knowledge. I know already the subject. I know how to teach the subject. I also know the tools, but in what proportion this has to be mixed. Where to mix, where not to mix. For that, we need to develop our knowledge in this particular aspect. This doesn't get developed in over one training. People work out consciously to do exercises and then they just try to find out like how to implement this. So this is the knowledge every single teacher should be developed to integrate technology. So if we are planning a technology course for empowering teachers to use technology, our module should be prepared keeping in view all this knowledge. Are we giving some module in our content on these topics to enable this? So in this particular module, we have kept a few assignments for enabling this particular knowledge of TPCLX. Initially, some modules were only towards technology knowledge. The very first day when you took a photo of your selfie, nothing to do with pedagogy or content. It is only technology knowledge that everyone should know, that how to take a camera in the desktop and take your own selfie. So every activity which we plan in our training, we should keep this as a picture before view so that we try to include some experience and the learning outcome so that the teacher will develop this particular knowledge which will help them in training, including or integrating technology. And there are two terms here, cybergogy and cutagogy. What does cybergogy mean? Anyone who is aware of the cutagogy? Cybergogy basically refers to how learning happens in internet. So the way you learn with digital resource and learning happening through online is completely different. There is a lot of psychological theories that is differing from these two areas. These are some of the areas which are blooming, not at very well. There are a lot less researches done in India on this area. So these are scope for us to do researches in your own subjects. Cybergogy theories, when you learn, it is not same for all subjects. When you learn language, it is completely different. When you learn science, it is very different. So this could be area for our research areas when we take PSC programs. Researchers, these areas are not taken by NCRT people also still much. So we can look for taking these areas to study so that we can give better inputs for people to integrate technology through our subjects. And what is cutagogy? Cutagogy basically refers for learning, self-learning. We are talking about online courses, capacity building through online mode. How do learning happen without any physical intervention of a mentor? So complete the methodology changes. So when we wanted to prepare online courses, we should have an understanding of cutagogy. If we don't have an understanding of cutagogy, we will not develop online courses in a way that it will go to reach teachers. So when we wanted to develop, follow the instructional design for developing digital resource, we should have some knowledge. When we want to develop a online course, then we should have the knowledge of cutagogy so that we know like what type of activities I can give in online. What type of, can I do the same thing which I am doing physically in online? May not work. Can I do the same thing in my live? So when I want to do a live session and still want to make my session interactive, I need to know the cutagogy theory so that I will add components and elements in my presentation to reach during the online session. So there are this kind of theory. There is one more called pedagogy. When we talk about learning happens through peers. Right now we are telling that people learn through being in discussion forum. Really does learning happen? We are telling now add chat GPT, using that add a bot. Bot is basically saying that you can think bot as your peer and learn from them. How bot learning happens? Learning from bot happens. So if you want to really work on all this area, being NCRT coming out with all this technology, there is more research to be done by faculty on these areas to see what works for which subject. CIT will not be able to do for all subject because all of us don't know all subject. But all faculty who know the subject, will it work for student? Will it work for teacher? Will it work for parents? Will it work for this subject? All this need to be studied by us. So I think we need to move towards doing more research on this area. The last point, embodied learning. I'm going to give this presentation. I'm not going to play all the videos here. I have attached 4 videos for you to understand how embodied learning is applied, even when we use technology. Embodied learning is only basically whenever you do any learning, we should involve physical, cognitive, and psychological aspects into the learning process. That is what embodied learning theory talks about. If you want to integrate all the 3 together, many times when we use digital technology, the physical is forgotten. Now you did a small exercise of seeing the sky view light. In that was the 3 integrated. There was a cognitive aspect which you were learning about the sky, what is there in the sky and all that. You had a physical movement to go and see. There was a movement, physical movement. Some person was saying like, ma'am, I don't see anything. Why you are not able to see anything? Because you are not moving. So the mobility was improved during that exercise. It's a 1 minute activity using a technology. Was that happiness in you? 5 days, first time I saw many of them smiling with full heart. Right? So all 3 can be brought even when we use technology. How boring it was, like somebody doing a demonstration. Truth is, we don't like it. Psychologically, we don't get attracted towards it. So it is important to consider all the 3 domains when we plan. So when we plan technology integration, we have to keep in mind all the 3 domains should be embodied in our learning. So some examples I have given here for you to watch. I'm just playing a bit of it for us so that no issue. This is a very small activity how children are participating in the classroom. Some people used to ask like you're showing some video from out of the country. Can this happen in India? There are government schools who have started trying out this. There are projectors now coming up which can be not just projected on the wall. It is interactive projected which can be projected on the floor. So these projectors are already being sold and there are states which have started purchasing. But now it's us who have to give inputs on this, how to use it. They are having facilities, but we need to explore content, how this can be brought in our trainings so that the teachers can use this. So these other videos you can watch to get an understanding because I've kept videos for different technology and to different levels. This is small children, like if you're going for secondary level children or college students, how this can be done. I've kept some videos for reference which you can watch. So whenever we develop technology integration, all these things have to be kept in mind. And when we implement it, we need to always try out what we are planning. When we try out, if there is something not working, we need to modify it and then only release it. When we release it also, we need to always try to understand what impact it is creating. So whatever we have experienced, we need to keep sharing. The last step of this is evaluation. Many times our researchers focus on results. Pre-test, post-test, before the intervention this was there, after the intervention this was there. If NCRT also only takes researchers like that, we will not really be able to contribute towards the complete domain of learning with technology. So we need to do more researches related to how people react to various technologies. Whether really this is required. After pandemic, even we don't like any online class. We want to go for physical class. But still we are talking, do it everything in online. So we need to think about the reaction. We need to think about whether learning is happening or not. Piercing your finger and measuring the quantity of blood which came out differs from what pain that person went through. If I can say that this much blood only came out when I pierced with this needle, it can only say that this is what will be the interpretation from the human side. I must have pierced very badly, though blood didn't come, which would have given a more pain to the person. So it is like that. If we start studying only the quantity of what is reaching, we will not really achieve great things in our learning process. And as a national organization, we will not be able to give inputs on many things. So our researchers also need to cover what kind of behavioral changes are coming. When technology is being used, less researchers are there from NCRT. When we don't do it, who will do it? So most of education person have studied education psychology. So when we take researchers, can we focus on this area? When peer learning is happening, what kind of behavioral aspects are being done? And not just focusing on research results, we can focus on all these aspects as well. Okay. So with this, we stop this session. So the conclusion of the session is whenever we want to use whenever we want to use the instructional technology, we need to follow any one model. Though we have presented ADDIE, it's not mandate you need to go to ADDIE, but it's like for you to understand. So you can use other models also. For your extended learning, you can go to NCRT website. So just type NCRT e-content guideline. So this is a document which you will get. There are two, because all of us are going to involve in e-content development. Two guidelines are there as national where NCRT has given. One is the general guideline for development of e-content. So this content explains every stage in detail for e-content development. Like every step what you have to do. There is in detail, this can be, and even checklists are given for you to check whether you pass the quality parameter or not. There is another guideline in NCRT, in the CIT itself, which is uploaded, which is a e-content guideline for children with disability. So this was also prepared by the committee formed by Ministry with NCRT to tell when you prepare guideline how to ensure that you are meeting the needs of children with special needs. Even if you prepare video, what elements should be taken care is already explained in this. So these are two solid documents which you can use as a reference, as an output for the whole program. This 5 days you have learned many things, which you have learned it as a thing. Now you can take these things for your forward to take for understanding how really this theory can be applied in your classroom. Okay. Any questions or any observations which you would like to share? Can I request you to explore Google Art and Culture if you have installed it? You can try with Ajanta and just search, like just have an experience of, you can just stand and turn and see.
हमारे इंटरनेट यहाँ आ गया ना सेटिंग से ये केबल को
No, no, you should enable in your setting. Your movement has to be tracked. That must be
But the
on.
good thing is that it's explained to try it out.
टेक्नोलॉजी दी हुई है नया फोन लो
Can I request everyone to be please seated?
घुमाए है जनता लोरा
Sir, please. Am I audible to everyone? So we have with us Dr. Rezawal.